The video that you are about to watch is the simplest way that I have found to capture the knowledge, make a plan, understand clarity, and more. I encourage you to pause the video and arm yourself with pen and paper or whatever you use to take notes. Follow along with me and write down anything that you see fit or I have left out. This video is the first video in this series of videos that I will be sharing with you. After watching this, you will have the skill to unlock any knowledge, gain understanding and wisdom, solve any problem. If knowledge is the key, then learning the knowledge is the master key. The key is a representation. The key is representing the key of knowledge, the key of learning. It's much like those little dolls. You unlock one box, you get another key. You unlock another box, you get another key. This is a master key to unlock all boxes. Because once you've learned this master key, you'll be able to unlock all the other keys. You'll be able to unlock the knowledge key. And this is it. By keeping it simple, by keeping this simple, we're throwing out all of the other stuff. Forget everything you know. This is going to help you create clarity. This is the key of clarity. This is the key of planning. This is the key of all keys. One key to rule them all.
One ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them.
So, this is the key. And what is the language of this key? Well, our next little blimp, words. Words are the key to understanding. Words are the language that we use to represent. Because we cannot share images in our head yet, we need words to paint the picture. And the problem with words is that it's a perspective. When you use a certain word, the other person may not understand the vastity of the understanding of that word, or they may not see the picture as you see it. So words are key, and it's key to capture as many words as possible. So how do we capture those keys? What we want to do is capture key words. Capture as many words as you can, but don't make it a contest. We're trying to capture the most valuable words. Jargon. Jargon is a language of its own. We have our English, right? We have Spanish, we have Chinese, and those are all languages. Well, jargon is a language in a special field. So jargon is a language of its own. Computer language, like digits, the digits on a computer is ones and zeros, the binary. The binary language of computers is a language of its own. It communicates. And if you wanted to communicate with a computer, you have an interface. So jargon is much like that. If you are an engineer, you have all these words, right? And words that are not common to the lame or the person that is specialized in that field. So if you wanted to get specialized without having to go to university or school, all you need to do is learn the words. Learn words are power. So it's not necessary to learn all the words. It's not necessary to learn the words. You could use other words to fill those words in, but by being able to condense a whole sentence into just one word, and then that's quick. So jargon is a way of making the images access to your brain, the access to those images quicker. And because they're quicker, you can process things faster. So we're always trying to process the things in our head faster. This is what jargon is. Write down the words of jargon, like a financial statement in business terms, equity in business terms. Those are jargon words. And so if you do not know what those words are, words can actually hurt you. In fact, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. Ignorance is death. Ignorance is sickness. Okay, map words like a puzzle. Each word, each jargon, each thing, each word of its own creates this maze, this puzzle. And when you're able to, once you have collected all of the words, you've collected all of the words on your sheet. That's all you're doing when you take a notes. You're going to take each word and you're going to do exactly what you see on the screen. But we're going to put, so say I went to took a class or a seminar on robotics. Well, the first word that I need in the center is robotics. And each branch is a connecting piece of what robotics is. Because what is robotics? The words that we are using are describing our reality, but reality is almost indescribable. And words cause these confusions because reality to you may not be reality to me. And our words are our best way to convey perception of reality. So what we need to do is we need to understand what we don't understand. We need to understand what we don't know. What we need to do is capture these words and put them into place. What is describing robotics? What is robotics? Well, robotics is an intelligence. It's an artificial intelligence. It's artificial bodies. It's metal. It's plastic. It can be anything. It's an exoskeleton. So we put them all together, and then we find what we don't know. And that is why we use puzzle pieces, and we use the puzzle analogy. And you can insert images as the next little part will show. You can insert these images and literally just go online and input images. It takes a lot of time to do this, but if you're really trying to learn something, I find this to be incredibly valuable. It allows you to instantly look at it and be like, yes, that's what it is. That's what I know. That's the image. Because we speak in language of images in our mind. We don't use words. So the next thing on our next key, repetition or repeating. Just as you would exercise your mind, or just as you would exercise your bicep and your arm and your legs or your muscle, so would you do with your mind. And so once you have created your mind map, or once you have created this notes or this plan, this outline, go over it with your brain. Go to each step and just recount what you learned about that. Recount that word. Let it sink in. Recount the images and reimagine it. And this is the reason why this becomes a great plan. This becomes a great way to create a plan, whether that's a business plan, a life plan, or just getting around and doing your house. Now, there's no substitute for actually doing it. But once you have clarity, things become easier. You're no longer using up all this psychic energy so that, you can now focus. And that's the focus. Focus allows you to conserve the energy. When you're in chaos and you're overwhelmed and you don't know what's going on, it makes it very hard to do anything. And if we want to use the analogy of the puzzle, it's overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming when you take the puzzle box and you dump it. I'm just going to go back this way. And you dump it onto the table. And it's everywhere. Well, what do? On a puzzle, what do? You sort. Well, I do, and I don't know what anyone else does, but I sort all the matched colors. I sort it all out. It's not just one big pile now. And now I have color matches. And seeing the picture on the box allows me to put all the colors together. Likes go with likes. And because everything can go together and I have a picture, I'm not just wandering looking in the dark. This way of learning, these mind maps, these plans, these understanding plots, whatever you want to call them, this way of learning allows you to paint that bigger picture, allows you to see the bigger picture. So repetition is key. The next key that we have is fill in the blanks. Much like the puzzle pieces that we have, there is the shape of the puzzle. And there are places on the table where those puzzle pieces will go. Once you have filled up the entire, or once you have done about 75% of the puzzle, you see these little missing pieces everywhere. And it becomes easier to fill in the blank. They are connections, they are nodes, they are what needs to be filled in. And we recreate this. So once we went to the robotics seminar, or any class that I will give you in the future, what we need to do, once we've captured all the words, we need to take those words and we need to organize them into the puzzle pieces. And next you'll try to define them, right? Or there'll be a missing piece, like this little box right here and this little bubble right here. There is a connection there and I don't know what that connection is. This is the power of the Google. This is the power of the internet. You are now able to go online and learn anything. You can fill in that blank. And when you fill in that blank, epiphanies come, aha moments come. Your plan becomes more clear. That last one, I don't know if you saw that really well, but that last one is use a blank piece of paper. Start all over again. Recreate the plan from your mind. Don't ignore everything. Take everything and throw it away. In fact, this is the end of the video. And I want you to take what you know on this and throw it all away. I want you to start yourself. I want you to create your own little center node. I want you to create your own little center bubble. And I want you to recreate what I have just shared with you. And if you are missing a certain thing, if there's something that you're thinking, oh, there needs to be an add-on for this, or you're going to capture it. You're going to see what you don't know. You will visually be able to see what you don't know. And that is the power of what these mind maps have been able to do for me. That is the power of learning. Because if you apply this to robotics, you will soon find that there's a crunch zone. There's these zones that are coming in and they're funneling. And once they hit a moment, they'll explode. And then when two branches connect, as I'm showing right here, as the puzzle piece, the fill in the blanks, that fill in the blanks is forget what you know. Make a blank paper, make a blank mind, and recreate the thing that you thought you knew. And by doing that, you see what you didn't know. You see what is more important. If you can teach it, then you know it. And if you could, like Albert Einstein said, if you would like to learn more about mind maps and the subject, I encourage you to read Mind Map Masteries by Tony Buzan. It can be found in the description below.
You are the one who has the ring now.